Okay. I'm ready.
Well, Danny, it's a pleasure having you at the show today. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for clearing out some time in your very busy schedule to join us here.
Of course.
So how's it going? How's game dev going?
It's good. I like it. It's something I'm very passionate about now, and I didn't even know it. I feel like I've always been a game dev, but I never really took the time to make games.
Why do you say that?
Because I never built games. Not even when I was in high school and other people were building games. Like my friend Dave built a Snake clone that was actually really awesome. He reloaded it for us recently on an old computer.
Maybe you should get Dave in
here. Yeah. Yeah, he built an awesome game, and I built like a Flash application that lets you like hover over the different parts to see the different cuts of meat on a pig. So yeah.
So what makes you say that you've always been a game dev?
Well, I've always dreamed of making games, and I've always been thinking about game design. Like back in the day, I was obsessed with the idea like, why doesn't someone make a game where you can just do anything completely free? And I did some research, and it turns out it's not fun to play a game where you can do anything, because then it's like, well, now I got to decide what to do, and I'd rather just kind of relax and get something done. Excuse me, we're on a call. We're on a call together in the living room. So yeah, but when I finally allowed myself to do it, it was like, this is great. This is what I've always wanted to do. And maybe that's obvious. Maybe everyone would love to make video games, but it definitely feels like very me.
So what made you finally give it a try?
My friend Shane.
Maybe you should get Shane in here.
Yeah. We've done devlogs together.
He hasn't been on my show.
Oh, your show, right? Yes, I forgot. You took over my show. My last interview, Randak said that we should take over the show. You were there, actually. You heard him probably. You were in the background. He was like, we can take over his show now, because I went out and did the couch. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, so why should people play your game? There's a lot of games out there. I don't got time to be looking at all these games.
Yeah, that's a good question. I have tried from the beginning to bring value. I'm not the kind of game dev who's like, I got an idea and I'm making this game because I love my idea. I have an element of that for sure, because I think there is value in what I have personally to offer in a game, but my main focus is bringing value to the player. Like, what would the player enjoy? I'm trying to build something that they would have fun. So the thing we came up with is, we think people would have fun exploring space, discovering new star systems, claiming planets, and developing those planets into like habitable places where like this story of the human exodus into space, you're a big part of that story. You're the reason millions of people are spread across the galaxy. Human consciousness is preserved probably for pretty much all time until the galaxy, experiences whatever it calls death.
What is the obstacle that makes it fun?
I would say the obstacle is time and resource management, and choosing the right tasks to optimize your time and resource management. Developing your ship in a certain way that it's the best for the way you develop planets and the way you spread it. You can focus on the ability to develop planets very quickly, or focus on the ability to spread to more planets very quickly. And each of those things kind of gives you points toward the quote-unquote competition, and points toward like claiming star systems. And then when you have a claim on a star system, it can go back and forth for a while, but at some point there's nothing more to do in a star system. What? This is his contribution to the show.
It makes me feel
It's
like
your
you
show.
didn't look at all these details because you didn't make sure they didn't have the squeaky toy.
No.
I mean, what do you mean by competition?
So there's a leaderboard, and these points for exploration, like if you reveal a new area of the map or discover a new star system. What?
So I'm competing with other. This is me thinking.
Okay.
So you're competing with other players
Yes.
for galaxy domination.
Yes.
That sounds fun.
It is fun. Let me turn off this stove real quick.
What are you making?
I'm making tea.
Are you gonna make kombucha?
Yeah. So yeah, it is fun. At first I didn't find it that fun. It was more fun building it than playing it, but things have finally congealed and the game loop is coming together, and I find it very fun to play personally.
What is a game loop?
A game loop is the thing that has the reward and the challenge kind of tied together. So like you do something, you get a reward. You do something, you get a reward, and that it can be very complex. There can be
So
multiple
we're just
rewards.
a rat in a maze.
Well, yeah, I mean, and we all are just, here to move things from one place to another. That's all you do
So
all
this
day.
sounds very like it's just a dystopian game. It's a nihilistic
I think
game.
it's a nihilistic world. Yeah.
Okay.
This is at least fun.
Oh.
And I like games because they acknowledge that truth that like we're all just kind of a rat in a maze here. We're all just doing this, but like it's almost like how the art can reveal through its illusion. It can reveal the truth. I think games kind of reveal the truth that we're all just here to move things from one place to another. I mean, I think it's beautiful. I think the fact that humans are here and have the ability to create value out of nothing, I tried to kind of work that into this game a little bit. Like, you see the difference between like just collecting resources or inventing something new that makes it easier to collect resources. I think that's a very human thing to spread across the galaxy.
This is a mode of your philosophical teachings.
I don't think so. I think it would be impossible to separate my beliefs from the systems I created in the game, because what else was I working with? But I wasn't trying to. I wasn't thinking ahead of time.
How did you develop your belief system?
I developed it over long, hard experience. Time.
It's not that kind of show.
What? No. It's it was I would say I've always been trying to discover what life is and what the meaning of life is and why we're here and what gives life meaning. And so this is all just coming from that effort.
And do you feel like people will achieve that knowledge by playing your game? Can you
No.
guarantee that?
No. People definitely have to do that for themselves in their own life based
Do you
on
think
reality.
they should be working on that rather than wasting time on the game?
No. I honestly believe that games are essential to peaceful, contented lives, because we have this mess of animal instincts that need kind of to be used in order to be healthy. People go crazy if they don't have the right stimulus, if they don't have enough dopamine or they have too much dopamine, and if they don't have any challenges, if they're bored, they can go crazy. Like people.
Is that why your parents are playing dominoes every week?
Yeah, well, that's why people watch football or go out to the bar with their friends and play social interaction kind of games. Try to be cool. Try to a lot of dating is like kind of gamified these days with these apps. That's people need healthy outlets for the animal instincts that are no longer serving us in a healthy way in modern society. And so instead of, yeah, if you want to become a nomad and like go walk the earth like Cain, you know, you can do that, and that would probably be a good life. But most people have families and want to stay at home, and they need some kind of outlet for exploration and
you
discovery.
think it has to be a game?
Well, if it's not a game, what is it?
What about learning a new language?
Yeah, that could be the same thing.
Do you think people should do that instead?
Well, no, not necessarily.
You don't think that'd have more benefit than playing a game?
I don't think learning a new language is objectively beneficial. I think it has great benefits, but it's also not fun and very difficult.
I'm pretty sure studies have shown that helps the brain.
Yeah, for sure. But so does playing games.
Are you serious?
Problem solving, yeah, puzzles, yeah.
Really?
Of course. Yeah. Maybe not as much as learning a new language. I don't know.
How come you never play board games with us anymore?
Because I'm busy making this game. I play board games sometimes.
When was the last time you played?
When the table was clean.
Months?
Maybe, yeah.
What's your favorite board game?
I'm probably the best at Dominion, but I love Seven Wonders. Honestly, I like Seven Wonders Duel probably more than Seven
You're
Wonders.
better at that. At least you're way better at me than that.
I'm better at Seven Wonders, but I enjoy Duel better.
I feel like you kicked my ass in Duel many times.
Well, that's so usually because you forgot that was a thing, that there was like this win condition that you didn't know about, like science or something.
Do you like chess?
Sometimes I like chess. I always think of my friend who always beats me in chess, and I'm like, fuck chess. But yeah, and we're no longer friends.
Is he still your friend?
No.
Is that why? He beat you
No.
in chess too many times?
I don't think so.
Have you explored that possibility?
No, I haven't. That might have been it.
So, tell me more about your time in the cult.
That came out of nowhere.
I didn't know what else to say.
The occult?
Oh. Either your feelings on alchemy, is it spiritual alchemy or were they actually doing physical alchemy? Your time growing up in a cult, or your thoughts on the occult?
I get to choose?
If this game is inspired by Thelemic philosophy.
No, it's not. But I guess it maybe is.
Tell us more.
So I was really into the Book of the Law.
What is that? Is that some kind of Christian text?
It's a madman created a religion, pretty much. But it was a madman who was so knowledgeable and creative that it is just a fascinating, and I do believe it reveals some important ideas if you give it time to percolate, which I don't recommend doing, but there's better ways. Like I would have been better off studying the Tao Te Ching for the time that I studied the Book of the Law. But yeah, the Book of the Law, the first chapter especially, but the second chapter has a lot of gems too. The third chapter, who knows what that's really even for. The first chapter focuses on Nuit, who is, from my understanding, she kind of represents, she's like the goddess of the galaxy. Her body is the galaxy, but it's not the physical form of the galaxy. It's more like the, I don't know, gravity or consciousness of the galaxy. And it does a great job of describing her nature as nothingness and emptiness, much like the yin in the Tao Te Ching, or in the Tao. I don't actually think the Tao Te Ching talks about the yin and yang very much, but they both kind of, the Tao Te Ching in the first chapter of the Book of the Law, they do a great job of describing this idea that there's this other half of reality, this space that we all live in that allows for the movement of things, the creation of things, that allows for physical existence. And I think scientists kind of discovered this when they discovered quantum fields. So I don't know if we want to get into all that, but that's
But how is your game related to that?
well, it gave me my appreciation for Nuit, nothingness, quantum fields, this idea that physical things are our like base substance isn't physical, gave me this real appreciation for opening things up, opening space up, creating empty vessels that can be filled. And so like I love the idea of discovering a new star system and filling it with life and filling it with you, but then going on and discovering a new star system. And I really am interested in what people fill the game with. You know, I want to know.
Just settle down. Just find one woman and marry her. God, what? So you thought of the name Novel Universe to be NU?
I didn't think of it. No. Shane thought of it.
Is
I
he
didn't
a
even
fellow?
like it. I
Is
didn't
he a
even
fellow?
no. I didn't even like it at first.
Are you saying that the goddess Nu has been directing this?
I'm not saying that, but I wouldn't stop you from saying it.
Okay.
But I actually don't think that.
How are you introduced to the Book of the Law? Was it like a
Just
demon?
through a friend.
A demon friend?
No, not a demon friend.
We have to make sure. People talk. People online will say,
I don't think
"Oh,
people talk
this
about
this
us.
is related to Aleister Crowley. This is bad, so we need to make sure."
Yeah, he was a bad dude for sure. But you know, so was Martin Luther King in a way with his cheating on his wife and stuff. Doesn't mean they don't have anything good to offer.
Wasn't he?
You know?
Wasn't he like, bringing in demons?
Aleister Crowley, yeah. But I don't think there's anything wrong with facing the demons of the world. I think we all have to do that, and we all do that every day in ourselves, facing demons. I don't see the point in externalizing it and trying to actually like face demons that are separate than you. It seems, people who have a big ego and want to like conquer the world outside of them instead of working on themselves are into that kind of stuff. And that was him. He thought he could save the world, create a new world, all these things, but his inner world was just corrupt and chaotic, and he was an addict and obviously had emotional issues and power issues. So it's like,
And how did he make the Book of the Law, which you see as very valuable?
well, one thing he did throughout his life is study in depth the teachings of occultism, ancient teachings to modern teachings.
Do you think he wrote the book, or do you buy the story that he channeled it?
I think he wrote it.
Oh, you think he lied?
I don't think you can separate consciousness at the level of consciousness. You can't like separate it. And I think he could have been in a state where he was connected to more consciousness than, usual.
Have you ever been in a state where you were connecting to the consciousness of Aleister Crowley?
I hope not.
So you don't feel like you... how do you think it'd be if you met him in this life?
Well, I think he's dead. So,
Oh.
yeah. Aleister Crowley's consciousness, because I believe in panpsychism, that consciousness is fundamental and unified in one. And it's what animates the microtubules that animate everything we do and think. Yeah, I believe that when your physical body dies, your quote-unquote consciousness dies with it.
So you don't believe in reincarnation?
Well, if we didn't really die because we're actually the consciousness, I should say the individualized manifestation, because I think consciousness is what you use to identify with your body. You're like kind of like bunching up a bunch of consciousness and like pushing it into a body, and then you use it to puppeteer the body. But when you pull it out,
Horrifying.
yeah, it's a bit horrifying. Maybe that's why Ash is into FNAF. He's tapping at some truths there.
But you don't believe in reincarnation, like the same soul is in this life and then another life, and that's somehow a thing.
There's a lot of teachings. So I let me identify the extremes. The physical body is a very temporary puppet that you take with your consciousness. On the other extreme is consciousness is one. I think it's a gradient. I think there's probably other levels of identification with patterns that you could say are you beyond bodies. I don't think it would be as simple as there's just consciousness and just bodies. That just doesn't make sense because we're just
So there are
so complex.
many people who claim to be the reincarnation of Aleister Crowley.
Yes.
What do you think about those people and their claims?
Yeah, they could be because it's a gradient, I think. I don't even think we would necessarily be limited to, just the conscious. What is it even to say that the consciousness of this body is now just like moved over to this body? It would kind of like dissolve and become less identified and singular, and then the patterns of whatever's in between those two extremes, whatever that gradient is, some people call it the astral body or something, or the emotional body or the mental body, whatever that is, it would be less identified, less singular. And so, yeah, it could probably spread out a little bit and kind of go into multiple bodies. And he was a big ego, so maybe multiple people kind of
Do you think you'd
needed to fill that.
Do you think you'd like that person?
No, that person probably hates themselves. That would be a big part of the pattern, I think.
What do you mean?
A hate for themselves and a need to. That's just what Crowley comes across as.
Why hate themselves?
Because he was from my understanding, he was a very moral focused person. He believed in morality and he wanted a moral world, and he wanted clear philosophical boundaries for things. But he also wanted to break all of that morality, which is good. It's good to like push the limits. It's every teenager knows, like, you go through a phase where you gotta like test the boundaries of things to find out where the borders are for your world. So I think he kind of did a bunch of stuff that pushed the boundaries too far and maybe traumatized himself a little bit. And he maybe had a hard time dealing with the morality that he held and betrayed. So he kind of like developed probably like a little bit of
Do you
hate.
think if he played this game that would be like therapeutic and help him with that?
No, don't use it. Don't use this game as therapy.
I mean him specifically.
No.
Okay.
I don't think anyone would. Yeah.
Well, do you want to tell about your life in the cult?
I don't think it's relevant, but we can talk about whatever you want. It's your show.
Well, I don't really have anything else to say then.
All right, I'll call it. Thank you for doing this.
And if you can edit, and then we can talk. You can tell me what else to ask about.
No, this is great.
You can always cut some of